When you just see a bunch of pool photos over and over and over again, it's not helping you stand out amongst the competition. And residents and prospects are just tired of seeing it. That pool photo is great, but that's not where they're going to be living all day.
Welcome, everybody, to the Multifamily Marketers Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Grillo, co-founder here at Resident 360. And today I'm joined by my other co-host, Miss Caroline Mills. She is a wealth of information that we're going to plug into today. And she's also our senior digital marketer here at Resident 360. Caroline, how you doing today?
Hi, thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
And today we are talking about one of your favorite topics. This topic is actually the one that you came up with, which is what?
We are talking about digital curb appealer.
Okay, let's break this down really quick. Digital curb appeal for everybody listening today. What really is digital curb appeal?
I think most people, when they hear of curb appeal, they are very used to what normal curb appeal is, maybe for their house or what they see on the street. I think most people are very familiar with having their house have that quote unquote curb appeal. So having the nicely manicured grass, having all of your flowers in bloom, making sure the house looks nice, the shingles are on, everything looks very picturesque. And as we just move in a technology driven world, the digital curb appeal is just the digital version of that. And so that is how your property looks online to somebody when they quote unquote pull up to your property online. So they may not be seeing what the curb actually looks like there. They may not see the grass that was just cut yesterday or things like that, but they are seeing everything that has to do with your online presence when they Google you, consisting of your Google business profile, your internet listing services, your reviews, anything somebody could possibly see in a quick snapshot of you when they come across your property. That is your prospects' curb appeal of what they find of you online. My favorite part that I love to point out to people and what I think is one of the most important pieces is reviews and review management. Somebody can type in the name of your property and get really beautiful photos that pop up. The Google business profile listing pops up. Your website is the first thing that pops up. And then there's 3 or 4 different listings that all say your name. And those are all great things and all things you want. But if somebody notices that on your Google business profile listing over there, you've got a 1.5 Google star rating, they're not even going to take the time to click into those photos, to click into those different links and go and take a look at your property because you've stopped them in their tracks. They're going to say, whoa, what's going on here? Why is this rating so low? And so we kind of call that the secret weapon of your digital curb appeal is the reviews. You can have the most beautiful sparkling swimming pool photo there could possibly be out there. But if the very first thing that somebody sees when they look you up is bad customer service, you're not even going to get them over to your website to even try to start converting.
How should somebody tackle that? Do they just respond to it, or is there a strategy to that? What's your thoughts there?
I believe you should always be responding to any Google reviews. There have been studies done across our industry that just show, in any industry for that matter, that show people are going to have negative experiences, and that's totally fine. We're all humans, but they want to see that you're handling those bad reviews and that you are doing something about them. I think we've all had an instance where we look something up and maybe it's a 4.0 rating and you're seeing some good reviews and then you see a negative one. I think we can all kind of tell when somebody was just really frustrated and angry and put out an angry review. But then we kind of look at the responses we're getting. And I think we all notice a difference. If we see a response that, says, we're really sorry for how your service went. We'd love to make it up to you. We'd love to chat with you about this and make this up for you. Gives us a better feeling as a consumer than seeing no response, especially if you see responses to positive reviews and just not negative reviews, then they're choosing that. Or sometimes you've even seen responses where maybe the business is arguing with them in the response rating and they're saying, well, no, that's not how that went that day you were here. This is what happened really. And then you just feel, that you can't trust them as the prospect or as the consumer. So absolutely responding to any and all reviews, especially as quickly as possible, is just very important for your SEO and for your Google listing to respond to those as quickly as you can and just asking for new ones. You can't always change someone's mind if they have a negative experience, but you can at least try and do the best you can to make up for it and then just ask for new ones. I think that is the most misunderstood piece that people miss is just not asking.
Now, what about some of the other core elements like your ILS, your your website, like how much of a role are they playing in this digital curb appeal? Obviously, the website's massive, but
Absolutely.
like something like photos in your ILS listings, what about those?
So they're all play a key role in this. They're all equal pieces of the pie. There might be something that stands out to one prospect, more than another. But having those up to date photos on not only your website, but on your business profile listing, on your ILSs, I think auditing and just taking the time to look at them as if you are the prospect. I like to tell people put on your prospect hat and act like you're them. As marketers, we can get really used to, oh, yeah, well, we know what's feeding. We know what's going where. We know how this is supposed to look. And if you look at the same thing too many times, sometimes you can just miss some really crucial pieces. So, absolutely having photos updated, have diversity, make sure that your name is flooding the market and that you're out there when somebody looks for you. Have a variety of ILS listings.
Do we still want the pool photo front and center on our websites else, or is that kind of like is that like a thing of the past?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite topics with people too, because in today's day and age, we all have sparkling swimming pools. We all have those nice pool decks. We've got the nice chairs, we've got the beautiful swimming pool. And when you're a prospect and you get on an ILS listing service, especially, or just on Google, and you're looking through maps and places and you see a bunch of photos, when you just see a bunch of pool photos over and over and over again, it's not helping you stand out amongst the competition, and residents and prospects are just tired of seeing it. That pool photo is great, but that's not where they're gonna be living all day. They wanna see how they're gonna be interacting with their space. They wanna see the kitchen. They wanna see how spacious the living room is. They wanna see an amenity that's gonna make them stand out and say, "Oh, yeah, that was the community with the pickleball courts and the wine cooler in the kitchen." Not the sparkling swimming pool. Everybody's got a sparkling swimming pool. And your sparkling swimming pool
That's
may be the best sparkling swimming pool there is, but everybody's gonna have one.
that's a really, really, really important point there. Absolutely. Now, when it comes to like property websites, what's your thoughts there?
Hopefully, your point is to always get them to your website somehow from something. And so that should be the final landing place of where you're really truly trying to convert somebody. So definitely audit that. Take a look at, what is the prospect first seeing when they come to your page? Is it, are they having to click away just a bunch of pop-ups that are flooding their screen? Can they even see what your special is? Can they navigate to your floor plans effectively? Make it as easy as possible when a prospect comes to your website to do the final action, which is, apply for an apartment. Don't make them have to search through 15 pages to try and find what they're looking for. They're just going to get too frustrated and go away.
Caroline, you made an important point there when you talk about pop-ups. I like to call it the fire hose effect. It's like when you land on a property website, all of a sudden, all these pop-ups come up on the screen. They just start blasting you. So you've got the cookie policy popping up. You got the specials popping up. You got the chatbot popping up. And then you're having to close it out, close it out, close it out. Now imagine if you're on a mobile phone or mobile device, how frustrating and how annoying that could get. So what's your thoughts on that? Should there be a limit to the number of pop-ups a property website should have?
Yeah, and that's a good point. Just like you said, a fire hose effect. I think if you have to do more
Yeah.
than 2 clicks and to be able to get to a website, like, have you ever have you ever been trying to go on a recipe website and you're trying to just make the biscuits or the cobbler or whatever it is, and you are just trying to scroll down and find that recipe, and you've got 15 ads, you've got a long story about how they spent their summer on the lake, and you're like, you were just trying to get to that peach cobbler and learn the recipe. You get too frustrated. Prospects do too. They're gonna get too frustrated. They click away. And we can see that in page speed times, the amount of time that somebody is spending on your website and how quickly they're bouncing and clicking away. Especially, it was a good point you said, like mobile devices. You're already reducing that screen size so drastically that when you make them click 5 to 6 different things or they're scrolling and things just constantly keep popping up, it's gonna appear spammy or just waste their time and they're gonna get too frustrated. One of my favorite things is to have a static special. I know more people are doing it nowadays, but have that special and easy to see places for your prospects. I think we all get inundated with flooding the market when we're looking for something, and you look at 15, 20 properties when you're trying to narrow something down. And you may have clicked that website last week and saw that there was a special, but your cookies in your browser now don't see you as a new user. So now you don't realize there's a special at that property anymore. You go back to it, but now you go to their competitor and the special is posted on their website. And now they see that someone's offering a special and someone's not. Even though you always were, I think there's really great benefits to doing that kind of thing and reducing those pop-ups.
Reducing the number of pop-ups. I would say is a huge thing. So let's talk about how somebody can audit their own properties. What would be a good exercise or checklist, if you would, for somebody that doesn't have a lot of time, but still really wants to audit their digital curb appeal? What could they do?
If you only had a few minutes to check a few basic key things, Google yourself and check your links. Check and make sure that you're able to actually click and get to the things you're trying to do. I would say your links and buttons, making sure they're working. Make sure that click to call is working. Make sure the website button is leading to the website. Make sure you've got, an address in there. Make it really easy when people see you to just get a whole look at you. When you get to your website, just test it. Make sure those buttons are working. They're taking you where you need to go. Make sure it's easy to find a phone number. I think, like we were talking about earlier, make it very easy for your prospect. Check those contact bots or forms that you've got. Check those call to actions, whether that be schedule a tour, click to call, whatever you prefer for your community, and just make sure it is representing your community effectively. If you only have a few minutes to do it, just look as if you were somebody quickly clicking through websites and you wanted to call the property or get in touch with them. Was it easy or did you face obstacles as well?
So good, quick, you know, down and dirty audit would be just Google yourself
Yep.
and see what is showing up and just do some quick spot checks. Spot check that Google business listing. Make sure your reviews are all addressed and
Yep.
answered appropriately. Your photos are looking great. Your website, you land on the website, it loads quickly. Images are looking good. Contact forms work. Phone numbers, most
Yes.
importantly, work.
Yeah.
The same thing with ILSs. Check your ILS. Check those phone numbers on the ILSs. Are they connecting to the property?
Yes.
Are the forms syncing through property? Are the amenities correct? Are the photos updated and looking great? So that's an easy way for somebody to go and do their own audit on their own properties. So now let's move to something, Caroline, I just created called Hot Takes with Caroline.
Okay.
And what I want to do is just ask you a few rapid fire questions, like to get your thoughts.
Okay.
And we're going to start with number one. What's the most overrated part of a property website?
Ooh, controversial hot take here is having an aerial video or a very long video footage in the header of your website. I promise off of page times and people sitting there on your homepage, they are not watching those videos all the way through, especially when you go and put words or logos or anything over the top of your photo. It's slowing down your page speed loading time as far as Google indexing and crawling it and prospects clicking it. Your prospects are not spending the time to sit there and try and stare through your logo and watch a 2-minute long video. We found a lot better success and better results by putting that video somewhere in a virtual tour area or in a gallery, and people can click it if they want to. But many people go and click immediately to the things they want. They're not watching the videos and the headers.
You just hurt a lot of people's feelings.
I know it. I know I did.
Everybody likes to have some B-roll video up there as their hero image here,
I
you
know
know.
they do. If you're
I
gonna
like
put
that. I
it
like seeing it.
if you're gonna put a video, do not let there be sound. Have you ever been to a website where then it's, like, sitting on your tabs later and music just starts blaring from somewhere and you can't
Um,
figure out where it is? I mean, and then people are in public trying to look at your property and it starts blasting music while they look at it. I know, controversial hot take there.
all right, next question. What photo should every property have?
Kitchen photo from the largest angle you can possibly get. We were talking about earlier, like, nobody's sleeping at the swimming pool, but everybody's gonna spend even if you're not a cook, you're gonna spend some time in your kitchen. You're gonna have your coffee, you're gonna host people and friends in there. I think living rooms and bedrooms can look relatively, the same across a good amount of properties, but show your prospects where they're gonna spend most of their time, especially if you've got some standout things in there that's gonna separate you from your competition.
All right, that's a good one. And Caroline, one final one.
Okay.
Digital red flag that you can spot from a mile away.
Ooh, digital red flag. I would have to say if it's doing it quickly, it's not responding to those Google reviews. I can spot that so quickly, and it's something I look for as a consumer myself and as a marketer. When you get to your website, spelling. I know it sounds so crazy, but how many websites I've been to where something is misspelled either in the area around them, there's a grammar area right in the middle of the romance paragraph. Those are the two things I can spot super quickly and be able to tell someone quick at it.
I know we cover a lot of stuff
Mhm.
here today when it comes to digital curb appeal, but is there one final tip you have, whatever it might be, for everybody listening today?
Final tip, I know we talked a lot about auditing and putting on that prospect hat, but do it often. Don't think that you just do this one time a year and you're done. Check these things often. Your prospects aren't just coming one time a year. I think it's great to check it in spring leasing season, but do it often. You're going to have prospects year round.
Awesome. Great, great tip. All right. So next week, we'll be talking about another real hot topic. Which one is that, Caroline?
We are talking about reputation and review management. So we get to further dive into those review topics.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. That one should be good. And I want to thank everybody for listening to the podcast today. If you like what you heard, please help us out. Subscribe, like the podcast, leave us a review, all that good stuff. And we will see you next week as we talk about reputation and review management. Take care and have a great week.
Bye.